Hi, this is Meeta. I'm going to go over the money usage bookkeeping spreadsheet. This is available both in Excel and Google Sheets version as per your preference. You will see how easy it is to enter all your transactions and how much useful data you get about how your business is performing at any given point of time. Plus, you get a profit and loss statement generated automatically. This is going to be very useful for you to file your taxes at the end of the year and also to provide to your bank or to an investor who require financial documents. So let's get started. First, we come to the settings sheet. Over here, you can enter your company name. Uh, let's call it ABC LLC. Then we come to the income sources and the operating expenses of your business. These are all customizable. I've entered some income sources like Etsy, website, craft fair, store, in-person sales, blog consulting, etc. You can add any more as you like. You can just directly type over there, another income source. Then we come to the operating expenses. There's 40 over here for you to use or customize as per your needs. We have some extra ones at the bottom over here, which you can overwrite on, or you can overwrite on any of these other expenses simply by typing over them. We now come to the dashboard. And I've already entered some data in the income and expense tab, so you get an idea of what kind of data you're going to see on the dashboard. You get your total income, your total cost of goods sold, the gross income, operating expenses, net profit, profit percentage. You get all these useful graphs showing you the income, expenses, net profit, showing you the different percentages from the different income sources that you have. Then we come to the monthly summary showing your total income, expenses, net profit by month. Then we come to your income sources that you get by month. So say from your website, you got $465 in Jan, in Feb 450, and so on. We come to your production expenses. That's the cost of goods sold by month again. And these are pre-filled for you. And it's advisable that you leave them as they are so that the production expenses can be classified as such. You get your gross profit margin. Then you come to the operating expenses, which are the advertising, bank fees, charges, and all the rest of the expenses, which are fully customizable by you. And this again is by month. You can see how much you spent in February on advertising, how much you spent on office expenses and supplies in April, and so on. Now we come to the income tab. Over here, I've already entered some data, so you get an idea of what the transactions look like. I'm going to go and overwrite on one of these transactions. Say I want to put in October 18th and put in the income source as the website. As you can see, I just clicked on this little button over here and it gave me a drop-down list of all the income sources that I have. And then I go into the income amount and put in say 1200, and the sales tax gets automatically updated. You will have to put in your sales tax rate over here. I've put in 7% for New Jersey. If your state charges say 4%, you'd simply enter 4 there and the sales tax would automatically get updated. If you sell a product that has no sales tax, you'd simply enter 0 and no sales tax would be calculated. So let's go back to 7%. And the net income is also automatically calculated. Income less sales tax is net income. You can put your product ID. I put in LP101. You can put in anything you wish. A description of the product and some notes. If you go down, you'll see I've entered different transactions. Now, these do not need to be entered chronologically. For example, right up here, I entered this as October 18th, but I could very well go down to the end and say put in a transaction for August, say August 5th. Then I put in something for a store, this being the source of income. My source, say the total amount of sales was 4,000. That's my sales tax. That's the net income. And once all the dates are entered, this automatically gets reflected in the dashboard. So since I had income in August from store, this got added over here. Let's look at this over here. This was store 4,000, which got added. So say I removed it, I can go back and simply say 0. You'll see that the amount has gotten reduced in August. So let's go back, put in the 4,000. Then you will see the total has also increased for your total income, and as has the net profit. We now come to the top of this tab, and I want to show you a neat feature of this spreadsheet where you can sort and filter by any of the fields up here. So we'll come up to date over here. Say you want to see everything listed in chronological order, because right now we have like October in the beginning and some other dates in between. Let's go over here, choose sort oldest to newest, click on that, and as you can see, all the transactions have been sorted in chronological order. To go back to the original view, just click on the undo button and you go back. You can also sort by the income source field. Say we go and choose blog and click on OK. You'll see all your blog transactions listed out here. Once again, let's do an undo and you go back to the original view. Then we come to the expenses tab. Over here, you'll enter the date, the expense that you're choosing. You click on this and go and choose any expense that you like. The cost of goods sold expenses have been categorized with a COGS in brackets at the end, so you know these are cost of goods sold. Let's enter a transaction over here. Let's say July 2nd. And let's choose postage and shipping for say $50. And we'll go to the dashboard, and you can see on July 2nd, this shows up in July. Postage and shipping, you paid $50 in July. And you can also see this gets reflected in your operating expenses as well up on top. Now we come to the P&L statement. This is automatically generated from all the income and expense transactions that you entered earlier. And this has been formatted to print. So this is very useful for you at the end of the year to file your taxes. And also if you want to simply print out and hand it to your bank or an investor who would like to see your financials. And I wanted to go over the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statements that are included with the business bookkeeping tracker. So the income statement pulls in figures from your income and expense tabs. We already went over this when we were discussing the business bookkeeping tracker. Over here, all your transactions that are entered get reflected in the income statement, both from income and expenses. So the net sales would be $94,069, which you can also see from the dashboard over here. And you get your production expenses or your cost of goods sold over here, cost of sales 16,000, gross profit, all your advertising, office expenses, postage, shipping, all these expenses that you see reflected in the dashboard, which come from the expense transactions, get shown in your income statement. The income statement is also known as the profit and loss statement. So let's go back here. And here we come to your total operating expenses, and then you get your total operating income. Over here, you would record transactions that would not normally get reflected in your income and expense tabs. For example, if you were to sell an asset like a motor vehicle that you use for your business, and when you add that in here, say you sell a car for like $2,000, so you would enter that here, and then your operating income and net income would automatically get updated. We come to the balance sheet, and here too, the amounts would have to be entered by you. Say, for example, the cash in hand in your bank account or in your petty cash is a total of 15,000, which I've entered here. You could put 20,000. I've entered some amounts like accounts receivable of $5,000. You could enter inventory of, say, $1,000. And as you notice, your current assets increase, your long-term assets include any long-term assets like land, building, equipment, furniture and fixtures. And I've added about $10,000 in general equipment. Your total assets come to 36,000. Then we come to your current liabilities, which include accounts payable, taxes payable, any salaries or interest payable. And I've entered some amounts here, which you would also enter from your own books. And we come down here to a total of 11,500 in total liabilities. This would mean that you have invested like 24,500 into the business, which reflects as owner's investment or owner's equity. I've included some ratios over here. For example, the debt ratio, the current ratio, which is basically current assets over current liabilities, and the debt ratio is your total liabilities over total assets. These ratios help to determine how likely your business is to pay off your bank loan. We now come to your cash flow statement. Over here is your cash receipts, production expenses, operating expenses. These get automatically pulled in from your income and expense transactions. You would have to enter expenses like cash paid for, say, interest or income taxes. You would also enter the cash at the beginning of the year, say it was $5,000. Next, we come to cash that you would receive from any investing activities, like, say, the sale of some equipment or property. Say you sold a car or a vehicle and you got $2,000, we put that in. And immediately we see the cash flow from investing activities has gone to $2,000. Then we come to financing activities. Say you have received cash from a loan that you borrowed from somebody. And any cash you paid for repaying the loans, that would become an outflow of cash. So say you repaid somebody's loan of $1,000. So immediately your net cash flow from financing activities is a negative $1,000. Your net increase in cash for this year is $58,689. And your cash at the end of the year, which is a total of your net increase in cash plus your total cash at the beginning of the year, is $63,689.